Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. So I want to go over some Google My Business tricks to rank better so you guys get more leads and customers for people searching for your services on Google. So to start, I'm using Local Falcon for My Business TM Blast. The keyword here is SEO, and in a 30-mile radius, I'm the top ranking company. I have the most dots. There are dots 1, 2, and 3. Those are those green dots. It means I'm on page 1 of Google. If I click on any of my competitors over here, I can see how the map will change. My company is at the very top, and to show how many companies I'm going up against, here is everyone right over here. This is so critical because when I work with local SEO clients, you're dealing with tens, if not hundreds, of other companies that are all competing for the same keywords in the same radius. It's very difficult, but if you can rank at the top, get in positions 1, 2, or 3, that's going to lead to the most phone calls and leads to your business. So with that out of the way, let's showcase TM Blast. I want to go over my profile. This is going to be a longer video, so feel free to either click around with the chapters or just watch the whole thing. All right, so to start, your name is a big ranking factor. So for me, my business name is TM Blast. That's what I use. Now you can add keywords to your title, but here's the thing to understand about that. If you add too many keywords, like let's say if I add, TM Blast hyphen SEO company, SEO expert, New York SEO service, that could be flagged as spammy by Google. Google could see that. They can actually remove your profile completely because it looks spammy. Also, the name probably is not matched with any file. You're just keyword stuffing your titles. So I share that because the name is so critical. So if you're starting a new business or you're trying to get like a doing business as, and you're, let's say, an Albany, New York moving company, it might be advantageous for you to get a DBA as, let's say, Albany, New York moving company or moving service. That would be really beneficial to you to help rank better. But um, again, if you spam your title, it can be flagged by Google. Your competitors might flag it, and your Google My Business account might be shut down. And especially that Google does all these video verifications now, you really don't want to mess around with that. So I caution the name. The name is a big ranking factor, but try to get a DBA if you can. If you want to have a slightly different version, that's the most safe way to keep you protected. But the name is a big ranking factor. Number 2 are the reviews. So I have 33 Google reviews. So if you click into this, you'll see some of the most recent ones. Now, reviews are a big factor, but I think it's more from a click-through rate perspective. So imagine, again, I keep using the moving company as the example, but if you are looking for a mover and you're probably going to then click on a few different listings and you want to click on reviews and you want to see what others have to say about the company, maybe they share photos and their real life experiences, and then the owner might respond. That can influence a potential call or somebody requesting more information about this move because they see the trust signal behind it. So I think Google looks at that information too and says, okay, more people are interacting with this profile. They're spending more dwell time on the reviews. We might improve their ranks a little bit to see what that does to get more potential people into the funnel because they seem to like what they're seeing, which is the reviews. So I don't think reviews matter from a quantity standpoint. I think it's just more from a trust standpoint. Number 3 is your category. So for me, there's no SEO category for TM Blast. So I had to put down internet marketing service. But I share this because if you are, again, a moving company and your primary category is something like, let's say, storage, and it's not mover, that's going to kind of impact your ranking. So make sure that your primary category properly states exactly what you do. Let's keep going through this further. Actually, I'm going to refresh this because my business is now open, which is another ranking factor that I'm going to get into. But having a physical address is key. So I talk about this all the time. If you are a service area business where you don't show your address, I really think that's going to impact your rankings in 2025 and beyond. Because again, I get numerous requests from contractors who will tell me, "Hey, I just started a business, and it's just like on the side, and I'm working from home, which is totally fine." But they always say, like, "What can I do to rank?" And when I look at the top competitors in their area, almost 90% of the time, they all have a physical address. So I let them know. I say, if you're going to really compete from a local SEO standpoint, you really have to invest in getting a physical address. It's just how it works. It just ranks better. It produces the fastest results. If you're going to be working from home and not showing your address. Unfortunately, I see a ton of other companies that are doing the same thing. And I think they get kind of lost in the shuffle with Google. And then you start doing things like social media posting and Craigslist and all those other things too to try to make up the leads, because you're not really ranking on the Google Maps part. So I always say get a physical address. It's really going to help. Plus, also, I think it's a click-through rate signal for Google Chrome. So users who then click on the directions, I think, um, is another signal for Google to look at the credibility of a listing. Next is the hours. So I just shared this. So I refreshed my page because it's a little bit past 9 o'clock. Hours do play a factor. So when you're open, Google tries to show listings that are available for someone to receive a phone call, obviously, or even visit a store. It wouldn't make sense to show a company, let's say, that opens up at 11 o'clock in the morning, because again, if you're searching for, let's say, a like a flower shop, and Google's showing a flower shop that opens at 11 o'clock, that doesn't help you. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. You need to go somewhere basically right now to get flowers. That's kind of why the hours really play a critical role. However, what I've seen is that people might spam the 24/7, think, okay, well, I'll just be open 24/7. Again, that could be flagged as suspicious by Google, by users. And again, you really don't want to start creating these avenues that Google can shut down your business profile, because it could take weeks, it could take even months to get back. It's not worth it. Just keep it accurate. Next are the products. Products are important. They're a great way to, I love this visual showcase that you can, display to your users exactly what you do. For example, I have this one, it's called Bing Site Indexing Help. And I have this as a product, and I showcase that, and I link out to my individual page about this particular service. It's actually really helpful because users can see the visual standpoint of what I offer. So again, that's quite helpful. Now, these categories are important too. So as you know, I'm ranking really well for the keyword SEO. I have a category specifically about SEO, and then New York local SEO. So these are important ranking factors. Questions and answers now is another thing too. I I mentioned questions around SEO, but it's generally from questions I get from people that I just kind of go in and update that as a question and answer on my account. So people ask me, how long does it take to see a result? How do you work? etc. I go through and I sometimes just add them to my question and answers. I think that's a good ranking factor. I'm going to get into trust index in a second, but I think diversifying your reviews is important. And then next is the description over here. So you want to make sure you're using your primary keyword within the description. So for me, it's SEO. I'm an SEO company. Same thing for you guys. So if you were an HVAC company, make sure you're leading with HVAC. Talk about the heating. Talk about the AC part of it. Just talk about being an HVAC company in this particular area. You have 750 characters to work with. Try to utilize all that space. And then the last 2 points is updates. Updates are a great way to show trust to users. I don't think Google looks at this and says, like, oh, TM Blast used these keywords here, we're going to rank them better. Again, I keep talking about a moving company because I work with one, and I think showcasing photos of the team doing an apartment move or a commercial move or a residential move and showcasing the actual team, I think builds more trust. It builds more dwell time when users click on it to read or to look at the photos, and then they might be more enticed to then click on the phone icon. I think those signals are very important to rank better for. And then finally, your social profiles. It's just a way to, again, diversify away from Google. It shows that you're accurate. I have a TikTok account. I'll be honest, I'm not that into TikTok like at all, but I post on it, and I know for others that's their primary way to search. So it's important to diversify away a little bit from Google, have a website, have social profiles. These are all ways to rank a little bit better. Okay, now that we went through Google My Business, let's talk about the website. Now, the website is part of the Google My Business ranking factor. So you want to have the page that you link from your Google My Business that specifically says what you do. So for me, it's SEO. I talk about as an SEO service. I go about it as a brief description. I make it very clear the main things that I provide for my clients. I have a little video. Again, it's just a way to kind of illustrate very clearly what I do. But I think the big thing that is important to have on your website is in the footer for Google My Business. You want to showcase your business address, your phone number, maybe an email address. Someone can then get in contact with you. But then you want to embed your Google My Business map directly in the footer, because that's going to be on every single page. It builds the credibility for Google plus also users to know exactly where you are. And then over here on the right-hand side is the review. So I use a third-party tool called Trust Index. They pull my Google reviews and also Trust Index reviews directly onto my website. I think this is very helpful. And what I did as a step further was I went to I created an actual reviews page on my website, and I bring in my Google My Business reviews. So this helps kind of build a connection between Greg's an SEO provider. Here's his Google My Business account. But then I'm also showcasing those reviews if a user came to my website directly, so they can now read all these reviews. And then I have the Trust Index reviews too. This is important because, again, you want to diversify a little bit away from just Google reviews. Google can always remove a review if they think it's, spammy or fake, or for any reason they can do that. So if you are a local company, try to get reviews on as many different platforms as possible: Yelp, Facebook, TripAdvisor, whatever else. Just try to get reviews, and then you can showcase them. I think that builds to a lot of credibility. And of course, things that I'm on other sites too: Chamber of Commerce, SCM Rush, Agency Partner, all this stuff. So these are just ways to build more and more trust. I'm not going to get into how to optimize the web pages necessarily, but I think it's important to build that connection between your landing page visit from Google My Business, the signals, and then also the reviews too. Here is a tip for your site. This is my last point of all this: is that let's say you have a Google My Business account, you have a website, and you're like, okay, cool, I did all this. How do I rank better for, let's say, kitchen contractor? To start, put your website into Google. So for me, tmblast.com, then do minus site, colon, and then your website. So for me, minus site, colon, tmblast.com. I want to see what Google knows about my business that's not directly from my website. So you can see I have LinkedIn, YouTube, I have Instagram, Trust Index, that's that third-party site I was talking about that brings in the reviews, Saratoga.com. I talked about over 50% rankings I have in the upstate New York region. I'm on a very high quality directory that, again, showcases my name, address, phone number, and that I'm an SEO company. So it's a huge, huge directory to have. And I share this because, again, if you're a local company, I get this question all the time from my clients. They always say, like, hey, what's the value of me, paying like $300 a year for this directory? How many sales am I going to get? It's so hard for me to know how many sales you're going to get. But the way I look at this is that if this can help influence your rankings and diversify a little bit away from Google, because now you're on a directory list and you can post there, you can maybe do some promotional material there, and you can get some leads. It makes sense. This is where your audience is. You should get on this particular directory. So I always encourage people to get on your local city directories and engage that audience there. Don't think about it too much from here's my cost, what's my return. Think about it more from I'm diversifying a little bit away from Google, and in an indirect way, it might also help with my rankings too. YouTube, TikTok, we talked about that, and then some other sites as well. You can also go to, if I go back to the TM Blast search, now this is going to include my website. One thing you can do too is you can click on these three dots over here, and you can see the knowledge panel of what Google knows about TM Blast, or obviously your business. This is actually interesting. Trust Index is the very first thing that pops up about the source. So Trust Index, high quality directory listing, brings in the reviews, name, address, phone number, everything like that. I'm on another directory called Design Rush. Then I got interviewed on Local Falcon. I've posted so many videos about Local Falcon that they reached out to me and they wanted to interview me. And it's been great just because I love the tool. It's really transformed everything that I do for my clients. And I think there's been like a little bit of a connection now when I talk about Local Falcon, and Greg Kristen or TM Blast is kind of becoming a little synonymous with it because I use the tool so much and I share so much about it because I think it's so valuable. There's like a little bit more credibility right there. And you can click on more. You can click on this arrow over here and see more about this page. You can click on this and you can get more information of like the reviews and the websites that list off TM Blast and the sources, etc. So in summary, this is the keyword SEO. My business is at the top at a 51%. I can see every other listing over here, how they rank, etc. So now with again, if you're like a moving company or a locksmith or anything else like that, Ranking at the top of your target keyword is going to lead to more high quality impressions, phone calls, leads, and customers for your business. So I hope some of these tips made sense, maybe might have given you guys some ideas of what you can do to rank better for your keywords. Let me know if you had any questions on this video. And as always, have a good rest of your day.